What would you do if a blood-red bus stopped in front of your house every night at exactly 3:33 a.m.? No drivers, no passengers, just eerie, blurred figures stepping on and off. No one else in town sees it. No one believes you. When you finally decide to investigate, you realize this bus isn't taking people anywhere normal. It's a one-way ride to something far worse. Stay with me, because this story will make you think twice before looking out your window at night. For 7 nights in a row, a strange blood-red bus stopped in front of my house at exactly 3:33 a.m. This was odd because Frost Hollow, like most small American towns, had no public transportation. Even stranger, tall and unnervingly thin figures got on and off the bus each time. Their faces blurred when I tried to focus on them, as if they weren't meant to be seen clearly. On the 7th night, I called the sheriff's department, unsure who else to contact. A woman with a thick southern accent answered, her tone casual at first, but when I explained what I had been witnessing, this mysterious bus, its odd passengers, the eerie consistency of its schedule, voice turned serious. There are no buses in Frost Hollow, she insisted. Certainly none going down Slaughterhouse Road. Hesitant, I revealed what I'd seen on the side of the bus, the words Inferno Express, and the route number 666. Silence. Then a click. She'd hung up on me. Determined to get proof, I grabbed my camera and dressed in black. At 3 a.m., I hid behind thick bushes near the swamp, where the bus always stopped. My heart pounded as the distant roar of an engine echoed through the night. I hit record. The bus screeched to a stop, its blood-red paint gleaming under the dim streetlights. The windows looked like elongated, staring eyes. When the doors slid open with a groan, a hellish crimson glow flooded out. A tall driver stepped into view, dressed in a black uniform with polished boots. His skin was bone white, his enormous black eyes bulging like those of an insect. When he turned in my direction, I froze. Figures began stepping off the bus. Tall, faceless beings in orange jumpsuits. Their elongated limbs and unsettlingly smooth heads made them seem barely human. Some of them disappeared into the woods, moving with an eerie mimicry of human behavior. One crept toward my neighbor's house, its blank face pressed against a window. Then the driver moved. He stepped toward me with a twisted, exaggerated gait, his sharp-toothed grin widening. I knew he had seen me. Panicked, I turned to run, but the swamp swallowed my foot, pulling me down. Before I could react, a scorching hot hand clamped onto my neck and yanked me backward. I dropped my camera as I was dragged toward the bus. Thrown onto the steps, I gasped in horror. Human bones lined the stairs, old and cracked, yet some fresh and white. The driver's seat was constructed entirely of grinning skulls, the cushioning made of pale, stretched skin embedded with human teeth. Faceless beings surrounded me. The driver pointed at the open door, his meaning clear. Get on. I shook my head, pleading. No, please, I don't want to. But resistance was pointless. Cold, spindly fingers seized me, forcing me inside. The moment I crossed the threshold, the doors clanged shut. I turned to see a boy, no older than 10, sitting alone, his dark eyes filled with fear. How long have you been here? I whispered. He swallowed hard. Days. Where are they taking us? He shuddered. The Playpen. They showed me in my dreams. Bus rumbled to life, pulling onto an endless dark road. Outside, the forest had vanished, replaced by swirling desert dunes. On the horizon, a towering black monolith loomed. The boy's voice was barely a whisper. We're not getting out of this. Not alive. As the bus slowed to a stop, every faceless figure turned toward us in eerie unison. The driver grinned wider, his inky eyes locked onto mine through the rearview mirror. Now arriving, the Playpen. A robotic voice announced. The door swung open. The desert air was thick with silence. My stomach churned with dread. I wanted to resist, to fight, but I knew it was useless. I stepped off the bus and into the unknown horrors waiting ahead. A freezing wind howled through the desert, sweeping sand across the dark sky. The bus door remained open, its passengers watching us intently. Even the driver never took his eyes off Ian and me. I felt a deep unease. "Let's go," I said, gripping Ian's shoulder. He flinched, looking small and afraid. Side by side, we hurried down the road. We hadn't walked far when we saw it. A corpse, mummified and brittle, lying on the roadside. Its hollow eye sockets stared blankly, its mouth frozen in a silent scream, filled with black sand. Ian gasped, stumbling back. "Hey, it's okay," I said, trying to reassure him. But he only pointed at the body. Then I saw it too. The corpse was shaking. Its dry limbs rattled, the remaining rags on its body tearing apart. From its chest, wet black tentacles emerged, covered in blinking, bloodshot eyes. The bones cracked as something slithered out, rolling forward on its grotesque limbs. It grew rapidly, eyes darting in every direction, staring at us with unhinged fury. "Run!" Ian screamed, yanking my arm. We turned and sprinted, the creature slithering after us at an unnatural speed. Through the storm, I saw tall figures watching from the shadows, their blurred faces hidden, their inhuman silhouettes like spectators at a death match. The monolith stood ahead, glowing with white light. A gateway. Hope surged in me. But before I could reach it, something slick coiled around my ankle. I crashed forward, screaming as I was dragged back. Tentacles tightened like iron bands, pulling me towards the creature's gaping maw. Its eyes blinked furiously, tentacles reaching for my face. I thrashed, knowing whatever it intended was worse than death. Then, a sharp cry rang out. A man with haunted eyes and a stone club slammed the creature. It screeched, releasing me. "Run!" he shouted. I didn't hesitate. Together, we dived through the light. Inside, I found Ian safe, an old woman by his side. Above us, a monstrous being, the black god, hung from the ceiling, sleeping. "We must escape before it wakes," the man whispered. "The bus is our only way out. But the driver, he is only the beginning." The old woman, Jackie, spoke in hushed tones, her words laced with fear. She recounted the story of an old man who had survived the black god's awakening. Every few months, the entity would stir, and when it did, the corpses would rise, the sky would split apart, and everything living would be hunted down, absorbed into its flesh, where they would suffer for weeks before succumbing to madness and death. "How did he survive?" I asked. "He hid in the bus," Jackie said. "The driver leaves sometimes. That was his chance. Like Teddy, Jackie wanted to escape the Playpen as soon as possible. She assured us that the Stalkers and Starspawn wouldn't enter the monolith, too afraid of the black god. But Teddy remained uneasy. "If it wakes up, we're the first ones gone," he muttered. "I've heard the screams of those who get eaten. They last for weeks." "Enough," Jackie snapped, casting a worried glance at Ian, who was pale and trembling. She handed out pieces of roasted rattlesnake to Ian and Teddy. When she offered me some, I declined, unable to stomach the sight of its charred, lifeless eyes. "So what's the plan?" I asked. Teddy lifted his crude sandstone club and gestured toward a few more primitive weapons. "We're going to take out the driver and steal the bus." It was a long shot, but I had no better ideas. As we stepped back onto the endless road, chaos erupted. A wounded Starspawn barreled toward us. Before I could react, something slammed into me, sending me and Ian sprawling into the sand. Two Stalkers loomed over me, their faces shifting, their jagged fingers stabbing toward my face. Pain exploded in my skull as one punctured my left eye. I screamed, my vision blurring with agony. Then, headlights. Bus sped toward us, crushing the Starspawn under its wheels. Teddy swung his club, shattering a Stalker's skull. Bloodied and half-blind, I saw the bus screech to a stop as the driver stepped out. Behind him, the black god stirred, The sky rained fire. Teddy attacked first, but was caught effortlessly. The driver crushed his throat and tossed him aside. Jackie and Ian rushed him next. Ian's strike brought the driver to his knees, but with a swipe of his clawed hand, the boy was dragged down. Jackie fell beside him, lifeless, fueled by desperation. I brought my club down on the driver's head. He lashed out, tearing into Ian's throat. Panicked and horrified, I staggered onto the bus, started the engine, and drove into the swirling vortex ahead. The playpen dissolved into a crimson void, and suddenly I was back on my street. As I slammed the brakes, I glanced in the mirror. The bus was still full. Every seat occupied by the stalkers, their twisted faces staring forward. One lunged as I fell from the driver's seat, hitting the pavement, screaming. Blood ran down my face as I crawled away, just before my world went dark. I awoke in the hospital, safe but scarred. Yet my nightmares always return, to the playpen, to the black god, and I know they always will. What do you think? Was the bus a gateway to another dimension? Or something much darker? And if you saw a mysterious bus stop outside your house every night, would you dare to get on? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Creepy Hive, and turn on notifications for more terrifying stories. You never know what's waiting in the dark.